choose blue. I assume I'll have the energy for this toy review. How'd you guys find me again? Well, guess I've got a video to record. At first, I think costume changes is in order. DK! Perfect. And so you're probably wondering why this episode isn't being recorded in its usual location. Well, there's a simple reason. That rift in the space-time continuum in my upstairs hallway, it caused a blackout in my house. And I've...
I'm being strangled by the man in the mirror. Ah!
I think I need a vacation. And I figured I'd need a vacation. Fortunately, the very next day we were going to my grandparents' place in the Outer Banks. While Comet deals with a quantum phenomenon, I'm here relaxing on the beach and going to water parks and whatnot. And since it's the 25th episode of It Figures, I figured I might as well make it a two-parter. Next week's episode will be War for Cybertron Siege, Optimus Prime. Transformers, War for Cybertron Trilogy, Siege, Megatron. A review that I'm recording really early on Monday morning, before I've even taken my meds. So let's get into why the toy's good. So first off, you've got some really good articulation. You've got an elbow swivel, an elbow bend, a hinge here at the wrist, elbow swivel. No wait, that's not an elbow swivel. We've got a rotation at the bicep up here, in and out movement, waist swivel, a bit of an outward bend with the legs, though that's more for the transformation, an ankle pivot, which can be extremely hard to get to click back into place on this half, as you can hear, a thigh swivel, and of course a knee bend, and if you close up the heel, you also give it a bit of toe articulation. And as you can see with the face sculpt, it is a near perfect representation of the big, great, badass Megatron. It's got the scowl, it's got the red eyes, it's also got the weird eyebrows that are actually the three-pronged helmet on his original toy. He's also got a lot of battle damage, which is really, really nice. This is one of the best examples of battle damage I've seen on a figure so far. And it honestly makes me happy. He also comes with this sword, which is meant to echo his G1 figure. And it's also got the tabs here on the side for effects parts. Though, since I didn't bring any with me, I guess I can't show you that feature. We've also got his iconic fusion cannon, which looks absolutely awesome. You're also supposed to combine the sword with the fusion cannon, and that looks ridiculous. You can also, however, if you want to make it less ridiculous, you can just split the blades, rotate them around slightly, to have your way, And now we've got an extenderated gun. Which looks absolutely silly. Though I guess you would want to have it pointing this way, technically. So you have the little sniper scope. Spoiler alert, this also turns into the cannon for tank mode. Though why a tank needs a sniper scope is anyone's guess. We've also got these pair of... We've also got the tank tread stapled back here on his back, which, when turned up, I think makes some pretty suitable shoulder cannons. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, his head has a ball joint, but it also has this. Yeah, why this couldn't tab in is anyone's guess, but it just doesn't. And we've also got all the weapon ports that make Siege so much fun. We've got 2 on his back, 2 on top of the treads. We've also got 1 on each forearm, and 2 on each bicep. I think. Let me check. Yep. The screw holes back here also, the screw holes on the back of his biceps also act as weapon ports, and we've got ones on the sides of his biceps. We've also got one on the side of his legs here, and we also got some on the bottom of his feet, though nowhere near as many as Optimus Prime does. So, let's get into his transformation. First thing we're going to do is pull up his backpack. Next, what we're going to do is come to the backs of the legs, pull down these panels. Then, what we're going to do is bend the legs like this. Then what we're going to want to do is the most complicated motion in this entire transformation. We're basically going to push down and swivel the thigh swivel at the same time until it slides in like this. Then we're going to close up that panel and do the same on the other side. It's really the most complicated part of the transformation. And you're going to want to make sure that you don't get the top half of the thigh swiveled down along with the bottom half of the thigh. If you do that, you're not going to be able to bend the leg downwards when you return to robot mode. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to come up here and basically we're going to straighten out the arms like this, rotate down the arms like so, pull up these little tab thingies back here on the backs of the arms. Then we're going to fold in the fists. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Megatron also has a flight stand on the back of his backpack, and also on the back of his booty. Next thing we're going to want to do is swivel around the hips. Then we're going to take the tabs on either side of the hips, that you can see here, and you're going to notice that there are little holes on the inside of the legs. Those will tab in there. There we go. Then we're going to fold up the feet like this. Then, after that, it's not about done. You'll also notice that on the bottom of his feet, there are holes, and on the bottom of the other half of his seat there are tab holes. You basically want to push them in until those tabs go into the holes, and fold down the feet until they're flush against the treads, and there, that's the back half completed. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the shoulders, we're going to rotate the fusion cannon around, and make sure that this shorter weapon plug is facing towards this 5mm port. Then we're going to rotate it down here, make sure that the smaller peg tabs into the hole. Then we're going to basically unpeg the treads from the backpack. We're going to bring down the backpack assembly. What we're going to want to do is you'll see that there are these two tabs on these flaps. See here. You can also notice that there are holes on the insides of the tank treads. Seen right there, the triangle things. You're going to want to make sure that those are lined up, and then tab them in. Then you're basically going to want to take this entire assembly and push it in and also push down until, bam, you're almost finished with the Cybertronian tank mode. Then what you're going to want to do is take the sword gun from earlier, rotate the blade around 180 degrees from where they were originally, then plug it in like this. And you're going to notice here that the little holes here match up with the slots on the sword. Push them in, and bam, the Cybertronian tank is finished. And what a nice Cybertronian H-tank this is. It seems to take a lot of design cues from the Armada tank, in that it's a massive H-tank of alien design, though it doesn't have the massive mandibles of doom on the front, unlike the Armada one. But it is very cool. It's got a swiveling turret, and yeah, I still don't know what the sniper scope is doing on the front. If you had an effects part, say from a blowpipe or fire drive, it could go into the hole here on the end of the cannon, make it look as though it's firing. But, and in this tank mode, you still have and in tank mode, you still have a bit of access to seeing a lot of that battle damage. You've got it on the top of the turret and on the tops of the treads. And on the topic of treads, I think it's fair to mention that most tanks have these weird little plastic wheels, and most of the time they don't really work. I'm not sure if Megatron's work, but whatever. You're probably wondering why. Now then, and in both modes, weapon ports are open to make massive army-bominations. Arm-bominations. You can take 6 guns weapons, or cogs weapons, or Brunts weapons, and plaster them all over the weapon pegs. My personal favorite weapons out of the weaponizers, not that I have any of the other ones, but I do intend on getting them, my personal favorite for the moment are 6 guns leg guns. I've come to realize recently that my episode of It Figures about 6 Gun was a bit too kind to him, and that he's actually not as good as I thought he was in that episode. Not to mention that there were a billion other things that I had to edit out of that episode that I wanted to keep in. But for now, all you need to know is that 6 Gun's leg cannons, the gravity cannons, are my favorite. But anyways, War for Cybertron Siege Megatron is incredible. He's really the best version of Megatron, and unfortunately the only version of Megatron, so I shouldn't really be singling as the best version, since he's really the only version of Megatron that I have right now. But I'm pretty confident in saying that future Megatrons just aren't going to be nearly as good as this. He's got really good articulation, a very, very, very intimidating vehicle mode, a fairly decent deco for what's until recently has been some fairly underwhelming paint jobs on our action figures, and all in all, I'm confident in saying that he is a very, very good action figure. So with that being said, this is Firebright27, over and out, and I'll see you next time for another episode of It Figures. Hey guys, Ryan here. Just reminding you to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe, please. It helps me out a lot. So, see you next time.